Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net.
Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50-plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, ZionEagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's ZionEagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Tennessee, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
The following is a presentation of Main Street Media, your source for news, sports, and information on Main Street in Middle Tennessee. Welcome into a Friday edition of Main Street Sports. Today on the program, we welcome the Sounds play-by-play man Jeff Him for his weekly visit. Also, Theresa Walker in the second half. We've got quite a few things to talk about. The Grizzlies up now 2-1 in their Western Conference Series against the T-Wolves. Also, the Preds in the playoff push, the Titans draft. A lot of things to get to with her. Daily Braves update, and so much more. We'll look ahead to the weekend as well, because it's Friday. And now to a couple of Friday fellas in their own right. The Hall of Famer Mo Patton and the Sundrop Kid from Alabama, Chris Yap.
Welcome into a Friday edition. It is a beautiful, beautiful Friday. Going to be a beautiful weekend as well in the 80s all weekend long. Come on. That's what I like to hear.
King worthy off the bat. No question.
Especially when we're talking about, so much of this past spring has been marred by weather, especially for our outdoor sports friends. So a lot of them getting in some games that they weren't not able to get in earlier this year. So the schedules have changed quite a bit today and for the weekend. So should be a lot to get into today. Looking forward to it. Mo, we have a great top story today as we look ahead to the fall, and gotta love getting a chance to talk about high school football on April 22nd. So it's always good. But we had talked not too long ago about Oakland releasing their finalized schedule with just 9 games on it, and we thought, well, that's unfortunate for them. For one, well, 9 games, no more. They have added a 10th in week 4. They will head to East Brentwood, where they will take on the Ravenwood Raptors. So it's going to be a huge game. And it is one among a lot of huge games across the state this year. And later in the show, I want to talk about some of those massive games that we will see throughout the high school football season, and that we will hear about and talk about on TriStar, or I'm sorry, Friday Night Live, not TriStar Friday Night Live anymore, but it's on Friday Night Live throughout the fall with JP.
That football show on Friday night. How about that?
With JP, George, Plaster, and the likes. You know, that's one thing we didn't mention on the show yet, and that is the addition of Plaz.
Yeah, I guess we haven't officially on our show. That's correct.
So we should probably do that. For
exciting
those
news.
of you who are out there and have listened to our show and have either listened before our show when we were on the radio with George Plaster and Watson Brown, or if you have listened to our show when George has been on the show, we're excited to talk about George Plaster joining Main Street. He will be here in July when his show will move from radio to these same distribution outlets. So looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun to have George getting the band back together, fellas. Even though it was a short time the first time around. Can you really get the band back together if you were only together for like 3 months?
Well, if it was a good thing, yeah, you can get it back together.
Okay, good.
Right?
Good, because I'm looking forward to it. But anyway, JP, tell us, I'll tell you what.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go ahead and talk about Oakland and Ravenwood here, and we'll save the rundown for after Jeff. How's that?
Okay. Sure.
Because, one, the rundown is probably going to take up an entire segment.
Yep.
And I don't want to push Jeff off too far. And secondly, I'm not sure if we can fill that third segment with just Oakland and Ravenwood, but it is a huge game, though.
I was just wondering how far we could get into the show before I could get a word in.
Well, I was letting you type, man.
I'm multi-talented over here. I love this matchup. One is two of my favorite coaches, Kevin Creasy and Will Hester. But two, it's a wonder that they've only played twice during the regular season. In 2011 and 2012, Oakland won both those ball games, 49-0 back in 2011, 27-15 actually in Murfreesboro the next year. These two teams have combined to make the Class 6A state finals in 7 of the last 8 years. So, unfortunately, this game is on a Friday night.
That seems good.
I think that's pretty good, and I think it bodes well for one heck of a matchup.
We couldn't get this on Saturday afternoon on ESPN.
I mean, clearly Creasy knows some folks, and actually the Ravenwood people apparently do too. What, they were on 2 years ago on Friday night against IMG. Oakland was on last year, went down to Jackson, Mississippi, and played Madison Ridgeland Academy. So neither of these folks is unaccustomed to national TV coverage on the worldwide leader. But, yeah, I guess there's still time. I mean, like you said, what is it, April 22nd?
April 22nd.
Plenty of time to get it on.
We can get it on some TV. Maybe we could just do it on Main Street.
There you go. There you go. I like
Saturday afternoon, Main Street, baby. Let's do it.
I like that. Yeah. But yeah, Ravenwood rolling in there with Florida State commit Chris Parson at quarterback. Oakland trying to reload from back-to-back 6A state championships. So should be a lot of fun. I'm glad to see this one materialize. I don't know where the opening comes from or came from on Ravenwood's part.
I'm not sure that Ravenwood had a game scheduled. They may have,
but I didn't realize that they played short last year, I guess, was my point.
Well, I mean, I don't think they did play short last year, but they played Life Academy out of Virginia.
So
on that week,
presumably this is taking the place of Life Academy then.
Yeah,
well,
they're not going to travel to Virginia, apparently.
I can understand that.
No doubt.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's where the game comes from.
There we go.
You know, this is a pretty big game, and Oakland went ahead and kept that CPA game on the schedule. So,
what about the Lipscomb game?
Lipscomb is not on the schedule. You know, last year that game was
a COVID game.
COVID, situation there. So, but they did keep CPA on the schedule. This year they can't play Lipscomb because they have to add Liberty Creek.
Well, I don't know if they have to add Liberty Creek, but they did add.
Well, they did add Liberty Creek. They probably didn't have to. Yeah, it's not a region game or anything.
Right.
But this is among the big games. Again, last year Oakland CPA, Oakland Lipscomb Academy, we were, really enjoying that one. Got those two, and then of course Ravenwood had a couple of big games, like I said, Life Academy last year. So neither of these programs are unaccustomed to big games.
No, not at all. And kind of in that Southern Miss, anytime, any place, anywhere type mode, both of them are. I mean, they seek out, again, Oakland CPA, Oakland Lipscomb.
Do you recall when Troy put the billboard up on the way between Troy and Auburn that said anytime, any place, anywhere?
No.
Yeah. That was a big deal back in the day, and right after Troy had beaten Missouri. and Auburn still two
different Tigers there, I would think, but
they've yet to answer the billboard.
They're probably not gonna answer the billboard, but that might be in Troy's best interest if they're not.
Probably, it's always best to think you can win and say we probably could beat them.
Yeah, then to be proven
otherwise.
Yeah, looking at you, Central Florida. Yeah.
Well, anyway, I was gonna go through a couple of big games, but I guess we're running out of time in this segment. But I did want to mention one game that I thought, and I don't know if this, if this is a game that is going to be as big as it was last year, but Brentwood goes to Shackle Island. Last year, Brentwood beat them 42-21. But going to Shackle Island makes a difference.
It does make a difference. And I think Brentwood was pretty senior heavy this past year. So
I'm curious to see how that one turns out. And
Beach was a little underclassmen heavy
exactly
last year. So yeah. That'll be a heck of a test for Clint Finch and the Bruins up there in particular. Tough place to play, as we've seen.
It certainly is, and that's kind of. But that was the biggest game that I'd kind of seen, and I thought, man, outside of our coverage area, it will be really fun to watch.
Yeah, as JP would typically ask us, what game would we go see if we weren't going to see the game we were going to see? That one would probably fall in there on one Friday night.
Yeah, no question.
Or Thursday night,
depending on exactly. Again, JP told you, got a great show ahead. Jeff Him coming up in just a few minutes. Braves, Theresa Walker. What are we looking forward to this weekend? All of that coming up in the rest of the show. We'll also get to the rundown after we talk to Jeff Him, so stick around. Main Street Sports Day, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint, will return after this.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net.
Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50-plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, ZionEagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's ZionEagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Tennessee. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the TSSAA.
Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Maury County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
Welcome back into Main Street Sports today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint. We're going to talk to Jeff Him here in just a minute, but I did want to mention some. We're just going to call this the Friday Fight Show because Binghamton and Portland, the Mets and Red Sox AA affiliates went at it, and I don't know if you guys saw the video, but the guy who got hit absolutely got a clean shot on the jaw of the pitcher who hit him. It was insane.
As I watched that, I was looking to see where the right fielder from Portland was, because the right fielder from Portland is former Summit standout, former Columbia State standout, Will Dalton. So I don't know if at Will_Dalton8 got in the mix there or not. I couldn't really find him once everybody got clumped together, but that was, as brawls go, that was the real deal.
that wasn't a
that wasn't just a bunch of folks kind of milling around. No, they were getting after it, man. So
no doubt it was a thing of beauty.
So I'd actually be a little shocked if Will was not in it. So. But well, if anybody knows, let us know.
Yeah, tell us
what's up. Yeah.
Anyway, the Nashville Sounds 4-game win streak ended last night, so time to start a new one. And so we will talk now with play-by-play voice of the Nashville Sounds, Jeff Him, who joins us. And Jeff, it's been a great week since the last time we talked to you.
It has, yeah, just to win 4 in a row, and it was 9 out of 11 the last week and a half. So it's been a really good stretch. This is a team that doesn't have just one area of their game that is doing well so far. It's a really well-rounded team. They had gone, I think it's entering tonight, 6 full games in a row since last making an error. They're leading all of AAA in ERA, and it's both the rotation and the bullpen with a sub-3 RA to collectively lead in earned run average. A few guys offensively are still trying to get going, but, that's the beauty of having a 9-man lineup and not just 2 or 3, because overall the offense has done a good job too. There have been plenty of lopsided wins in this stretch. So a lot to like. The waters have been pretty calm on the roster transaction front so far, which always helps, even though, of course, our guys want to get to the big leagues. But when you're trying to establish a routine early in the season, that's a good thing. So there's been a lot to like. It's been a fun first few weeks. And now from a First Horizon Park standpoint, we've got beautiful weather the next few days. So looking forward to some good crowds tonight through Sunday afternoon.
Yes, as Chris mentioned under his breath, Jeff, or do they? We had Eric O'Flaherty, former Atlanta Braves reliever, on with us yesterday, who spent some time on the Nashville Sounds roster but did not spend time in Nashville while recovering from elbow surgery, but mentioned that when he was with the Oakland A's, it was almost like some guys would rather be here than there, just in terms of surroundings and the like. And I guess when you look at the attendance figures that they've been throwing up the last few days, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, the Oakland Coliseum is not known, unfortunately, for massive crowds. And I remember some nights when we were affiliated with Oakland that there would be several times the Sounds outdrew the A's in attendance. Night. Yeah, but you know what? The players' salaries are still better in the big league, so no one's gonna still no one would have turned down a call up back then.
Nonetheless, it is a big weekend at First Horizon Park. I think are fireworks starting tonight?
No, not a fireworks night tonight. Most Fridays are, but tonight is not a fireworks night. But most of them are again on Fridays. We do have, and maybe you guys are the performers on this. I'm not sure. I haven't seen the names, but we have dueling pianos tonight. Is this you? You two? Are you on the pianos tonight?
Perhaps Chris.
I will not be tickling the ivories tonight, but I do. You know, I miss the dueling piano bar that was on Broadway for a long time, and a lot of folks loved that place. So I'm betting there are going to be several old school Nashville folks who make their way out to the ballpark if they've heard about it. So
nice. Yeah, we've got the dueling pianos tonight. Tomorrow is the R.A. Dickey Jersey giveaway. Of course, you guys know the background of R.A. Dickey, but for folks who don't, you know, Tennessee Vol, Middle Tennessee native, longtime big leaguer, former Sound, Cy Young Award winner. So it'll be a Sounds jersey in Vols orange, which will be a popular giveaway. So people are going to want to get here early tomorrow because that's only for the first 1,000 fans.
Now, I got to ask you, Jeff, because Chris and I discussed this prior to your appearance last week. How well is the UT orange R.A. Dickey jersey giveaway going to go over with the Vanderbilt fans in your fan base?
Well, that particular segment of the fan base may not be one of the first 1,000 to arrive tomorrow, but I can promise you we've done one, at least one, the last few years, one every season, some sort of Vol orange related giveaway. We did an apron a few years ago. There was a Sounds hat in Vols orange. Man, I'm telling you, that line out the door waiting for gates open, that's one of the longest lines we get if there is a Vols-related giveaway. So you jest, and I enjoy the jest, but I'm telling you, the fans respond when that color is involved on a giveaway.
It moves the needle, as they say.
It does. It does.
There you go. We are with the voice of the Nashville Sounds, Jeff Ham, here on Main Street Sports today. Jeff, anytime you can win 2 out of every 3 games, you feel pretty good about where you're at. And you talked about the balance that this team plays with 10-5 to this point.
Yeah, it's a very balanced team, and I think the interesting part is, you know, we talk all the time about the connection between AAA and the major leagues, since we are the level right below the big leagues. Think about who the Sounds have played so far. You've got Durham for Tampa Bay, Gwinnett for Atlanta, and now Charlotte for the White Sox. You mix in our parent club being the Brewers. All 4 teams that have been involved so far have parent clubs with very high aspirations at the major league level this year. I think that adds to the fun of covering the AAA games. Of course, every MLB team is going to have transactions. They all know they're going to use their AAA team at various times. But you're talking about parent clubs who, in my opinion, would have an extra careful eye on what they have at the ready at AAA because of what they're trying to do at the major league level. Compared to, and we haven't seen Norfolk yet this year, maybe I'm wrong, but compared to, say, like the Orioles with their AAA team, it's probably a little heavier on prospects. We only have a few. Because the Brewers, if they're going to make, by and large, moves with the Sounds this year, not say they're not going to call up, you know, an Ethan Small or a Mario Feliciano or a prospect like that, but in general, they're going to want something maybe a little bit more specific when they would make a move involving the AAA team. In addition to, of course, they want to call up somebody who's hot and very talented. So, in my opinion, these first couple weeks have been extra interesting because of the talent that's been out on the field and what it's connected to at the major league level so far.
Yeah, like you said, Ethan Small going to the bump tonight, and he's a guy who's kind of been making his way up the ranks, but not necessarily a quick call up for the parent club, because they might know what they're going to get at the major league level from some of the other more experienced guys. So it is pretty interesting how the AAA level at this juncture, like you said, instead of it being prospects, it's more guys who have a little big league experience, but instead of sitting on the bench every day, they're getting to play, waiting for that call up. So that makes this AAA area, the Nashville, Gwinnett, Charlotte, that makes it a little bit more fun, because you're seeing a lot of what we call 4A guys, but guys who could be called up and be on the MLB roster at any day. So
and you think about what's on the line from the player standpoint. Of course, they want to get to the big leagues no matter how they can get there and with who they can get there. But if you're talking about the added element that they would go up and help a team that is, in a race or with high aspirations and expectations, I mean, that would get your blood going even better for those kind of opportunities. And Ethan Small has been tremendous. I mean, he's got an ERA under 1 so far. He was really good last year when we saw him before he dealt with the finger issue that had him out for a while. Still highly regarded, very polished pitcher. He's been fun. He was just absolutely filthy the other night in Gwinnett. He worked the Saturday game. He struck out the side in order twice, didn't allow a hit until the 5th inning. He retired 13 in a row at one point. I mean, watching him is worth the price of admission alone. And if he keeps pitching the way he has been, we may not have him much longer, and the Brewers may find a spot for him. So catch him while you can would be my advice to fans. You never know at this level. The roster can change very quickly.
Sounds finish up their 6-game series against visiting Charlotte. 6:35 tonight, 6:35 tomorrow night, 2:05 on Sunday. Off Monday, and then to parts unknown. Jeff, have you been to a St. Paul Saints game yet?
I have never been to a St. Paul Saints game, and I'm looking at the weather for next week. Let's just say it's different than what we're having here this weekend. The temperatures start with a 4 and not an 8, so we'll see how it goes. I am looking forward to it. I've heard great things about the ballpark. It's been a long time since I've even been to the Twin Cities in general. St. Paul used to be an independent league team. Now they're AAA for the Twins in MLB's kind of realignment of 2021, and we didn't play them last year at all. So I'm looking forward to it. It should be interesting. It's going to be a little cold, but hey, I'm a Midwesterner. I know what April is like in the Midwest.
Well, at least you got 3-day games mixed in there, so
I do like that. That was strategically planned, I'm sure, by the St. Paul Saints.
Yeah. So you can thaw out a little bit between those 3 6:37 starts.
Right. And so the fans can maybe get some daytime sunshine to help themselves feel a little warmer.
So maybe those temps will start with a 5 instead of a 4 then.
Maybe I always like the feels like temperature. Maybe the feels like will start with a 5.
That's the temperature that really matters, though. I mean, if it might be 61, but if the wind chill is 48, then it's 48. It's not 61.
There you go.
So
I'm just glad to not be the one bringing up temps on this show.
Bringing up what?
Temps. I'm
temps.
usually the one that complains about being cold and getting called on it by the guy that you can't see over here in the corner. So
I see. Well, hey, we're in the 80s tonight, so if you want to come to First Horizon Park, Mo, you are not going to be cold.
Thank you. Thanks for looking out for me, Jeff. I appreciate it.
You bet, man. I put in the order. I said a special request from Mo.
And as it should be. So, Jeff, man, we appreciate it as always. Always great insight for the Nashville Sounds. Going to be a great weekend. You literally could not have picked a better weekend to go to the ballpark. So get out there, enjoy it, and go stand in line for an R.A. Dickey jersey.
Absolutely.
Get there early. There's only 1,000 of them. And those Vanderbilt fans will probably step out of the way for you, so you'll be in good shape. So.
That's true. But hey, he's a Middle Tennessee guy, too. You got to support the local guy, not just the Vols angle,
There we go. There we go.
Jeff, thank you, man.
Guys, thanks a lot. We'll see you soon.
Yes, sir. Oh man, that's it. You called it. You know who? I don't have an apron, but I wanted an apron. I just didn't go get one. They are cool, but I'm not sure.
As long as you don't mind orange,
you know,
which some people in this area do.
I'm not sure that. I don't know if your intro of R.A. Dickey was better. His was pretty good.
His was pretty solid. His might supplant mine as R.A. Dickey listens to it before he goes to bed at night.
It might. That was really good. Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah. I was thinking that as I was listening to it. We might just have to clip that out, and the next time we have R.A. on, we'll
let
that.
Jeff him introduce him.
There you go. Yeah.
Y'all come back with us here on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. JP will give you yesterday's results and today's schedule as we have it, and the rest of the weekend schedule as well on the rundown. So stick around.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net.
Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50-plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, ZionEagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's ZionEagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Tennessee, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Maury County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
The Friday Rundown is brought to you by Chip Walters of Exit Realty, Bob Lamb & Associates. The voice of the Blue Raiders also wants to be your trusted advisor in real estate. Contact Chip at 615-542-1915 or through his website at choosechip.net. Chip Walters, proud to support local youth sports in southern Middle Tennessee. All right, here we go. Busy day as always this time of year in the Rundown, and we'll start with high school baseball as we have coming up. There we go. We've got Antioch over Whites Creek 16-6. It was Clarksville Academy 10-0. Clarksville Northeast 13-11 over Stewart County. Richland 10-8 over Cornersville. Lipscomb Academy 7-6 over CPA. DCA 6 winners over Davidson Academy, and then 13-0 winners over Tennessee Heat. Greenbrier 11-9 over Dixon County. Innsworth shut out by Brentwood Academy. It was Fairview 10-0 over Hillwood. Good Pasture 9-1 over Father Ryan. Eagleville 9-5 over Forest. Friendship Christian 12. University School of Nashville 2. Spring Hill 4-3 over Giles County. Hendersonville 11-0 over East Robertson. It was Brentwood 17-3 over Hillsborough. Trousdale County shut out by Joe Burns. Loretto 12-0 winners over Collinwood. Pope John Paul II 4-2 over MBA. Macaulay and Mount Juliet play to a 5-5 tie. A rare thing in baseball. Centennial 13-1 in that game. White House Heritage 4-0 over Portland. It was Riverdale 10-0 over Blackman. Oakland 2-1 over Rockvale. Rossview 15-2 over Montgomery Central. Smith County 11-8 over Westmoreland. Wilson Central 7-1 over Soddy Daisy. Soddy Daisy returned the favor in the second game. 7-4 winners over Wilson Central. It was Summertown 10-0 over Wayne County. Creekwood 8-2 winners over Sycamore. It was Watertown 6-4 over Canyon County. White House 3-0 over Christian Community, and Zion Christian 6-5 winners over Providence Christian. Softball, not a typo. Beach 40, Hunters Lane 0. Beach 40, Hunters Lane 0 in softball yesterday. Blackman 6-5 winners over Riverdale. Clarksville 10-0 over West Creek. It was Richland 13-12 over Columbia. Cornersville 12-1 over Colioca. DCA 14-2 over Easel Harding. Gallatin 8-0 over Trousdale County. Greenbrier 1-0 over White House. Harpeth Hall 6-5 winners over Innsworth. McGavick falls to Hendersonville 6-5. Beach then put 18 in the second game. So 58-0 in 2 games over Hunters Lane for Beach yesterday. Joe Burns 15-0 over East Robertson. Henry County 26-0 over Kenwood. Stewart's Creek 17-1 over Laverne. Loretto 12-4 over Mount Pleasant. Murfreesboro Central Magnet 14-0 over Maplewood. Nolensville 11-0 over Ravenwood. Siegel 7-2 winners over Rockvale. It was Summit 6-3 over Independence. Summertown 8-4 over Giles County. Lawrence County 6-1 winners over the City Cats at Tullahoma. Watertown falls to Westmoreland 4-0 in Zion Christian, shutting out Grace Christian of Franklin 1-0. One's all it takes. One's all it takes. I'm sorry.
That game may have been a perfect game.
Which one?
Zion
Zion Christian.
Grace.
Hey.
I know Zion was a perfect game. Yes,
Okay.
Ashley Coble, perfect game. 7 innings, her first in her first career.
All right. So congrats to her and Zion Christian. Yep, one's all it takes. Perfect game. Boys soccer yesterday on the pitch. Columbia 3-1 winners over Ravenwood. Dixon County 1-1 draw with Gallatin. Hendersonville 6-3 over Antioch. STEM Academy and Overton play to a scoreless draw. Station Camp 5-0 over Merrill Hyde. It was Good Pasture 3-1 over Nashville Christian. Oakland 3-0 over Riverdale. Summit 3-2 over Spring Hill. Sycamore 4-1 over Creekwood. And West Creek falls to Martin Luther King 3-1. NBA last night, the Grizz take a 2-1 lead over the T-Wolves with a 104-95 win in Game 3. Minor League Baseball, Charlotte gets the win over the Sounds at Nashville 5-1 last night. All right, to today's schedule in high school baseball. It is Lebanon versus East Hamilton at 4, also at 4. The following games, Whites Creek versus Glencliff. Cane Ridge is taking on Maplewood. Seymour Christian and Zion Christian. At 4:30 this afternoon, DCA is at Franklin Road Academy. Good Pasture and Mount Juliet Christian will face off. Father Ryan and Innsworth at 5:30. You'll see East Robertson and White House Heritage. Easel Harding welcomes Nashville Christian. Fayetteville is at Richland. At 6 tonight, Shelbyville and Blackman. Colioca hosting McEwen, 6:15. You will see Hillwood at Harpeth. Also, Cheatham County at East Nashville. 6:30, Brentwood Academy at BGA. Hendersonville at Loretto. It is Clarksville Academy at Friendship Christian. Franklin taking on Columbia. Brentwood versus Siegel. Macaulay hosting Lebanon. Spring Hill travels to Smyrna. Summertown hosting Columbia Academy. Montgomery Central taking on West Creek. All of those again 6:30, as are the following. Murfreesboro Central Magnet versus Windsor from Missouri. Forest at Page, Rossview hosting Beach at 7 tonight. You'll see Creekwood and Fairview, Covenant Christian Academy from Alabama at Giles County, Sam Davis Park tonight. Great setting for a night baseball game there. Dixon County at Henry County, Portland at Joe Burns, Ooltewah hosting Mount Juliet, Murfreesboro Central Magnet at Marshall County, Kentucky for an 8:30 p.m. start. At 8:45, it'll be Green Hill and Ray County, and Independence taking on Centennial as well today. In softball, earlier today, a 1 o'clock start, Santa Fe, scheduled start, Santa Fe at Perry County. At 3 today, you'll see Gallatin, Portland at 4:30, St. Cecilia Academy at CPA. Also at 4:30, DCA Friendship Christian, Warren County, and Riverdale. Stewart's Creek taking on Hazel Green from Alabama. At 5, it'll be Franklin, Grace Christian Franklin at Columbia Academy. Independence hosting Columbia. Also at 5, Harpeth and McEwen, Mount Pleasant and Richland. Brentwood at Gallatin versus Gallatin. Summertown at 6. By the way, that's a 6 o'clock start. Also at 6 is Summertown Pope John Paul II. Tullahoma Riverdale at 6:20. These are at a tournament, so start times may vary. Summertown then taking on Bishop McNamara from Illinois. That's 7:30 scheduled. 6:20 is scheduled for Boyd Buchanan and Stewart's Creek. Rockville and Lexington scheduled for 8:30 and scheduled for a 9 o'clock.
The nightcap.
The nightcap. Closing it down, Gallatin and Camden. Giles County is also at Wayne County today. On the pitch, boys soccer, pretty busy Friday. Stewart's Creek and Blackman at 5. Good Pasture hosting MLK at 5:30. Fayetteville at Colioke at 6. Also at 6 is Loretto hosting Scottshill. Siegel at Rockville. Spring Hill welcomes Giles County. At 6:30, you'll see Columbia Academy at Grace Christian Franklin. Also Boyd Buchanan at University School of Nashville. The following games at 7 tonight. First touch, Smyrna at Independence. Laverne hosting Green Hill. Cookeville at Wilson Central. York Institute hosting Watertown. Also taking the pitch today, Westmoreland Sycamore. Hunters Lane at Greenbrier. On Saturday, doubleheader tomorrow morning, Gallatin and Good Pasture. First pitch at 11 a.m. I'm assuming, right? It is.
Yeah,
okay, making sure. Clarksville and Hopkinsville, Kentucky at noon. Also at noon, first pitch will be Green Hill and East Hamilton, Collinwood, Mount Pleasant, Waverly and CPA. Grace Christian Franklin will be taking on New Richmond from Ohio. Rockville taking on Page at 1 o'clock. It is Clarksville Academy and Innsworth, DCA and Lipscomb Academy, Macaulay and MBA. Stewart's Creek is at Overton at 1:30. Beach taking on White House at 2. Also at 2, Fairview and Summertown. Blackman taking on Laverne University School of Nashville and Columbia Academy at 2:30. Also at 2:30, Dixon County, Henry County, Ravenwood and Franklin, Tullahoma and Smyrna. Lebanon and Bradley Central will be at 2:45 tomorrow. Murfreesboro Central Magnet taking on Graves County from Kentucky at 3 o'clock. At 4, Upperman at Friendship Christian. 5:30, Middle Tennessee Christian and BGA. 5:30 also Mount Juliet Cleveland and Sycamore East Robertson. At 7, Saturday night, Mount Juliet at Soddy Daisy. Also tomorrow, Centennial at Independence. And then the Crethen Hansert Memorial Tournament. Baseball tournament, Lincoln County and Smyrna. It's 11:15 tomorrow morning. And at 5:30, Wilson Central and Ray County. In softball on Saturday, 6:30, we'll see Spring Hill at Page. And then the Coffee County Classic. Plenty of softball tomorrow if you want to see that. Stewart's Creek and Cheatham County at 9 a.m. Hazel Green from Alabama taking on Riverdale at 10. At 10:50, Blackman and Girls Prep School. At 11:50, it is Hazel Green from Alabama and Rockville. At 1:40, Riverdale taking on Shelbyville. Boyd Buchanan taking on Blackman at 2:30. Also at 2:30 will be Stewart's Creek and Lexington. At 3:30 is Cheatham County and Rockville. And at 5:20, Shelbyville taking on Rockville. The Griffin Classic tomorrow. Pair of games at 10:30 in the morning. West Creek and Gallatin, Beach and Summertown. On the pitch tomorrow evening, White House Heritage will welcome West Creek. And in college baseball, weekend series include Tennessee in Gainesville to take on Florida, Vanderbilt in Lexington to take on Kentucky, MTSU down at Louisiana Tech.
Ruston,
Louisiana. Jacksonville State welcomes Lipscomb. We talked to their coach yesterday en route.
We did.
En route as they were about to get off the interstate for their lone exit. Austin P at SIU Edwardsville. Cedarville at Trevecca, Cumberland at UT Southern, and in JUCO, Cleveland State and Vol State. Columbia State is down at Chattanooga State.
Did you say Belmont at Purdue?
I did not. Thank you, Belmont at Purdue.
Just making sure.
Also playing. I skipped right over that. College softball weekend series. MTSU taking on UTEP. Lipscomb is at Central Arkansas. Tennessee Tech at Tennessee State. Belmont hosting Morehead State. Austin P will be at Eastern Illinois. Trevecca and Cedarville doubleheader today. At Trevecca, a doubleheader tomorrow versus Ohio.
Is that where
Dominican.
Cedarville? Is that where the wooden roller coaster is? The big one?
Mount. Maybe.
Sounds familiar.
I think it is. I don't know. Anyway,
Sounds familiar, yeah.
continue.
Yeah.
I'm going blank. I've been there. Also, NAIA action, Cumberland at UT Southern, doubleheader Friday, and the third game on Saturday. Cleveland State, Vol State, Columbia State at Chattanooga State, also in softball. Lady Vols Challenge over the weekend. Today at 1:30, Tennessee taking on East Carolina. At 4, the Lady Vols taking on UNC Greensboro. And then tomorrow at 1, Tennessee again versus East Carolina. NBA, Game 4 of the
Not
Grizz.
much of a challenge for the Lady Vols.
It's a little misleading. You call it a classic, right? Just call it a classic.
Something.
But you know what? Challenge may be very accurate. It's a
Never
challenge
know.
for these teams coming in.
Well, there you go.
Try to beat us.
Lady Vols Challenge.
Yeah. They sent the challenge out. NBA, the Game 4 between the Grizz and the T-Wolves will be Saturday, 6:30. It will be on ESPN. They are in Minnesota. I wonder if Jeff maybe can go catch the Grizz game.
No.
Well, I don't know what time the
Next
Sounds
week.
game.
They're
That's right.
next
They're,
week.
they're not going yet. Yeah, they'll be back.
Glad you didn't tell him where you were going to be next weekend while he was in St. Paul.
Yeah, that would not have been good. Not have been good. NHL Preds at Tampa Bay. That is 6 p.m. Is that tonight?
Yes.
On the NHL Network, and then
No, that's tomorrow. I'm
tomorrow
sorry.
and Wild
Sunday.
on Sunday are in town to take on the Preds. 7 p.m. Puck drop. You can watch that on Bally Sports South. MLS Nashville SC.
That's their last 5. Draw, win, loss,
Okay.
loss.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Makes sense. A draw, win, loss, loss. They're in LA, who their last 5, a win, draw, win, loss. 9:30 p.m. Central on My TV 30. That is Saturday night. So a little late soccer action. The Sounds, let's see, actually, we'll go to the Braves first. They host the Miami Marlins. And
I was like, who's Miami?
yeah, it took me a second. Kyle Wright on the mound tonight, 6:20.
down.
Taking on the Rogers, huh?
Anchor down.
Anchor down. Oh, that's right.
Kyle
Yeah.
Wright.
Ian Anderson tomorrow at 6:20 versus Hernandez, and Elder on Sunday versus Luzardo. All games on Bally Sports Southeast. Sunday, of course, afternoon at 12:35 Central. The Sounds Friday tonight, tomorrow at 6:35, and then Sunday at 2:05. Still taking on the Knights from Charlotte. And that, my friends, is your lengthy Friday rundown brought to you by Chip Walters. ChooseChip.net.
I worked up a sweat during that one. I mean, just listening.
There you go.
So, well, I as I thought.
Is it time for the show to be done now?
I think the show's over. Yeah, let's take a break and give JP a little bit of time to catch his breath, and we'll be back on the other side. So stick around. Main Street Sports Today returns after this.
This is Chris Yao with Main Street Sports Today. Every show, Mo Patton and I welcome friends from all across the sports landscape, from high school coaches and reporters to national, college, and pro sports personalities. You never know who might stop by for a chat. AP Tennessee sports editor, three-time Tennessee Sports Writer of the Year 2020 TSWA Hall of Famer. She covers the Titans, the Predators, the Grizzlies, college football, and hoops. Please make welcome Theresa Walker.
Former University of Tennessee, former Team USA Olympian, ex-Cy Young Award winner, R.A. Dickey. R.A., did I miss anything?
Man, that was sweet. Yeah, I need to listen to that before I go to bed every night. That was nice.
Has 5 sports Emmys. That's not bad for the other guy in Wham, Ryan McGee.
Other guy in Wham married the best looking girl, Bananarama. So other guy in Wham had a pretty good life.
From preps to pros, we're taking on the sports topics you care about. Tune in across Main Street Media social platforms at 2 p.m. or on demand on your podcast distribution platform of choice.
All right, second half action now. We'll get right into it. The Braves Daily segment coming up in just a moment. Also this day in Braves history. Plus, Theresa Walker will join us, and we got a lot to talk about. So stay tuned. The Grizz, the Preds, the Titans. And in our final segment of the week, we'll look ahead to the weekend. What we got going on. So looking forward to that. Now back to the Hall of Famer and Sports Writer of the Year, who always has something going on, Mo Patton. The other guy with the Braves hat on today, Mr. Chris. Yeah, by the way, I got a new Twitter follower today. Yeah.
Palsy Punch Pop.
Yes.
How you like that? How you like that at name?
That's pretty clever. It's pretty clever. I like it. So Chuck, welcome aboard. Welcome aboard, Chuck. Glad to have another follower.
Good luck, Chuck.
Good luck, yes.
When I put that Twitter handle together, I thought it was probably one of my greatest works. That's what his granddad name is, Pop. So, and then of course he has the Palsy Punch that
there you go.
You can't get away from. And speaking of punching, we'll talk about Mike Tyson later.
Ooh. I'll give you one for that one. Well done.
I'm not sure who I'd rather be hit by the way. That Palsy Punch is.
I'm not trying to find out about either of them, to be honest. So.
Well, don't drive with my dad in the passenger seat. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Especially if you're 15 years old and just learning how to drive, and he's nervous because at any point that arm jerks up and boom, you're done. It's brutal. Went to school one day. Bruised up face. What happened to you? My dad punched me. What?
Do we need to call somebody?
You couldn't say that today.
Well, I mean,
today's climate.
Everyone knew my dad, so they knew what I meant. But it was just, anyway. Yeah. Braves and Marlins this weekend. That's who Miami is, JP. The Marlins. Jazz.
I guess you just figured that if he was the producer on a sports talk show, he had a working knowledge of the teams.
I'm not giving him grief over the Miami Marlins because they just recently became the Miami Marlins in the last 5 years or something. So I'm giving him a break there. Okay?
Well, that was minute 13 of 14 of the rundown.
That's true. He's been through it.
Punch drunk. Yeah,
it's a little bit. Jazz Chisholm comes to town along with his friend Jorge Soler. So I wonder if they're going to give him his ring.
I would imagine
tonight.
I just hope that none of Jazz Chisholm's hits result in any injuries for any Braves this time around.
Well, or hopefully they won't end up like the one after the umpire told him to get in the box last night. I'm still just look now, dadgummit. Jazz Chisholm argued with the umpire over a ball strike call. That was a strike. And everybody on Twitter is giving Jazz, oh, way to go, Jazz. Tired of the ump show.
It was a strike.
Tired of the ump show. Stop doing, dude, you were wrong.
That's neither here nor there.
Clearly.
Yeah.
So anyway, he just went yard on the next pitch. So it worked out.
Didn't matter. Yeah.
Worked out real well for him. But that being said, Braves got some young folks on the bump. this weekend. The youngest of the rotation coming at you.
You got to hope Kyle Wright can continue to throw the way he's thrown in his first 2 outings. I mean, what he did, when was it? Was it Sunday at San Diego that he threw so well?
Yes.
I mean,
no, Sunday? Was it Sunday?
What Monday was it?
I was thinking it could have been Saturday.
Maybe it was Saturday. Yeah, it was Saturday because they won the game.
They won. Yeah.
Yeah. So days start to run together. But he's throwing really well. And you hesitate to say he's turned a corner, but I mean, he's got a 1.64 ERA. So he's doing something right to this point. Hopefully he can continue it tonight.
Yeah, he's been on a upward trajectory since the playoffs last year. I guess since the playoffs 2 years ago. Wasn't he?
Well, he didn't necessarily. He was a little inconsistent last year, but then this past year's postseason, he's certainly been on, and he's been trending upward since then for sure.
And that's all you can ask for young arms. I mean, they're going to be great when they first get up because hitters don't have anything to study, right? And unless you're tipping pitches, you're probably going to be, you're going to look better when you first get up. And then folks are going to start figuring you out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then
you've got to adjust to the adjustments.
And he's done that.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be impressed with what he's been able to do. Ian Anderson,
definitely attacking the bottom half of the strike zone, and he's pounding the strike zone. And
I think that's where Ian Anderson currently is still after last year's postseason, he is having to make another round of adjustments. Mm-hmm. And of course he hasn't had great control to this point.
Mm-hmm. Well, and again, the shortened spring training is probably affecting him as much as anybody.
Right. And so you hope that this being his third outing, mm-hmm. that he gets the Max Fried
light bulb.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And not, again, we've talked about the Marlins and how much they scare us, but this is a lineup that you can let that light bulb, you can hope that the light bulb comes on and get some confidence.
There are some outs in this lineup. There are also some people in this lineup that can hurt you, and you mentioned one of them. Two of them. Yeah. So it'll be interesting for the young arms, like you said, Wright, Anderson, and Bryce Elder, that are going out there this weekend as the Braves try to get over 500, going in at 6-8. I guess they've got to sweep to get there.
Would definitely need to sweep to get there. But again, this is a lineup, and again, Duvall not in the lineup tonight,
right?
Getting a day off. But I thought I saw a tweet from someone who said, "Look, Duvall's not a natural center fielder. It's a taxing position on some people. He's a little older than what we would normally see out there. He needs a couple days off in a row early just to kind of keep his legs under him for the remainder of the year." So I don't hate the idea. I mean, I can't wait till Ronnie gets back and we can put somebody else in center field and move him to left. Mm-hmm. But right now, Travis Demerit making his Braves starting lineup debut.
And that's going to be interesting, him in right field, because he came up as an infielder. I mean, he came up to replace Austin Riley. So what's that going to look like? We'll see soon enough.
Can't be any worse than Rosario's been, I guess. I don't know. Man. We'll find out.
Yeah, today in Braves history, on April 22nd, 1966, the Braves score 2 in the first, 3 in the third, and go on to defeat the visiting New York Mets 8-4, recording their first victory in Atlanta after relocating from Milwaukee. Eddie Matthews and Hank Aaron each had a double in the win, while the hosts took advantage of 4 New York errors because, of course, Mets gonna Met. They improved to 5-4 on the season and 1-2 at home after a pair of season opening losses to visiting Pittsburgh. So, first win at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium on this date. What is that? 56 years ago?
Don't say that out loud. That's the year my mama was born. She don't want you to say it.
I'm sorry, Sherry.
Yes, 56 years ago.
Ignore that. Yeah.
Theresa Walker comes up in the next segment. Y'all stick around. We're going to talk Grizzlies, perhaps the greatest fourth quarter in NBA playoff history from a team. I don't know. So plenty to talk about. A.J. Brown, the Predators, and more. So stick around. Main Street Sports Day presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Back after this.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net.
Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50-plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, ZionEagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's ZionEagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Tennessee, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Maury County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
Welcome back into Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. As you see on the commercials, that, as our colleague Casey Patrick has noted, are not that bad. Stick around through them. They're not, you know. It's worth sticking around, especially when after the commercials are over, you get a chance to hear from Theresa Walker, who joins us now on the show. Theresa, how are you?
I'm tired. It's been a long week, and next week is looking even longer.
It's not going to get any easier with all, of course, the draft on its way, the Grizzlies in the first round, and if they keep doing what they did last night, it's not going to be an easy way. I wonder how many times folks had to rewrite stories last night. And then, of course, the Predators are in their last week of the playoff push. So, yeah, you're right. It's a tough week for you.
Well, I'll say this. There's a reason why I don't write my story too early. After 30 years, I've gotten a good feel for when it's soup. And, now with that big of a lead, I might have done some writing at halftime. I mean, sure, I would have written some stuff and had something set up. But that's where, you got to be a pro. And when there's a collapse like that, guys, I actually wrote something like that. In 2012, the Grizzlies blew a 27-point lead to the Los Angeles Clippers in game one of their first-round series. The Grizzlies went on to lose that playoff series. And, it's having seen it, teams can say, yeah, we're going to come back, we're going to fight back. That's a gut punch, okay? the Grizzlies were up 16 going into the fourth quarter of that game. And, it just, to watch it slip away, the Grizzlies lost by 1. The Timberwolves not only, blew a 26-point lead in the first half, 25 with 3 minutes left in the third quarter. They were up going into that fourth quarter, 4 shots made. I mean, Karl Anthony Towns, an all-star, he's just kind of disappeared in these last 2 games. And, it's just interesting. I saw, somebody who does radio in Memphis, Jason Smith, Mo, you probably remember him from his days with the Commercial Appeal. He tweeted that it was a soul-snatching victory. I can't disagree with that, and it's up to the Timberwolves to prove that it isn't.
It's tough to think that it's not. I think Jason is actually absolutely right. Soul snatching is a great descriptive, I think. And as much as the athletes are going to tell you it's just one game, I don't know. That's 25 in the fourth, and you give it up like that it's got to be tough psychologically to bounce back from that. And if you're Memphis, you've got to feel 10 foot tall and bulletproof at this point. I mean, what's it take to beat us? We were down 25 going into the fourth and won.
Ja Morant, Dylan Brooks, Jaren Jackson Jr. played horribly. And Ja Morant, as bad as he played, still had a triple-double, the first in postseason history for the Memphis Grizzlies. So, that's the thing. And he said it. He goes, I didn't play good. They were thanking their teammates for picking them up and having their back. And, and yet he still ended up with a triple-double. It's kind of absurd that, I look down at the stat line and it's like, are you kidding me? And that goes to show that the Memphis Grizzlies, the shots may not be falling, but they're doing the other things, and Ja was handing the ball out. The Timberwolves seem to have really made a commitment to not let him drive the paint and get the point. I mean, he led the NBA in points scored in the paint this season, and we saw it. I mean, he drives, floaters, dunks, little weaves and in and outs and layups and such. He just dominated in the paint, and yet, they've been trying to stop that. So what I saw him doing later in that game was, all right, I'm going to drive, I'm going to dish. And, he had an incredible drive, and then he kicks it out to Desmond Bane for the tying 3 in the corner. I mean, that's somebody to, showing that, okay, my shots aren't falling. This is what I'm going to do to get things going. So I'm really curious to see what is going to go, how the Timberwolves adjust, and if the Grizzlies can start a game better than they did last night, because, that's the only thing they didn't do well, was start the first half and the second half better.
And, oh, by the way, this game was in Minnesota.
Yes, and Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns. In fact, Karl Anthony Towns was caught on video saying, they're in Minnesota now. They're in our place. And Anthony Edwards talked about how they got to come to our crib, et cetera. It's very interesting. It's just, and now they're down 2-1. And, that's I've been covering the NBA playoffs for a while now. I remember once the Grizzlies had a 2-1 lead. And, the Oklahoma paper had a headline, Mr. Unreliable, dinging on Kevin Durant. And he came back out the next game and single-handedly changed that entire series. Now, could the Timberwolves do something like that tomorrow night? Absolutely. I mean, they've got some talent over there. Anthony Edwards, Karl Anthony Towns, up and down that roster. I mean, Jade McDaniels is a guy who kind of gets ignored, but he was drafted the same class as Anthony Edwards. They've got the talent. Now, can they come out? Ja Morant put it on Thursday. It's like, we ain't ducking no smoke. We run up the chimney. They ran up the chimney last night. And can the Timberwolves respond? Tune in. They tip off tomorrow night at 9:00.
Do you think well, let me put it this way. Where does this rank in fourth quarters in NBA playoff history? I mean, for a team to finish on a 40-something to 18 run, it's got to be up there.
They outscored them 50-12 at one point, or something like that. I mean, it was just absurd. I haven't seen any rankings, but it's like that was just talk about flipping a switch. it was a little insane.
Well, it's the same thing that happened really the same thing that happened in the second quarter. It was just like, for whatever reason, coming out of the locker room, the Timberwolves were on fire, and then I guess reality set in, or the Memphis Grizzlies flipped that switch, and boom, next thing you know, they were, making a comeback quickly and erased a couple of 20-point plus deficits. So pretty impressive, no doubt there. Theresa Walker, the sports editor for the Associated Press here in Tennessee, joining us now on Main Street Sports today. And Theresa, we want to talk also about a couple of things with the Predators. Obviously, got some help last night from the Calgary Flames. Thank you, Calgary, beating Dallas and leaving the Preds now, I guess, 3 points ahead for that first wild card spot. And obviously, this is a big week for them, starting this weekend at Tampa Bay and then back home for Minnesota.
It is huge. It does feel, let's put it this way, it feels much more like the Predators are going to clinch a spot than, certainly after, last weekend. I did not think that. So, in fact, I was over at Predators practice today, working on a story on UC Saros, who, by the way, is just tied for the most wins by a goalie in the NHL. So if you were worried about the succession plan for Pekka Rinne, don't. So yeah, I mean, and here's the fun thing with their schedule. This is going to be an interesting challenge. Their regular season finale is at Arizona, so they could potentially be looking at a trip from go to Arizona and then go to Calgary for the start of a series there. But here's the thing: they beat them 3-2 Tuesday night. They host them again Tuesday night, final game of the regular season at home. And then they go to Colorado and Arizona. They're sweating it out. I remember a couple other seasons where they kind of sweated their way into the postseason and surprised everybody. Anyone remember 2017? They literally were the 16th team out of 16 teams into the NHL and made a run to the Stanley Cup final. I'm not saying that's going to happen. God knows it would make my life easier if that doesn't happen. Because again, remember the other team we were just talking about? This is the thing. They played their best against the best, and they're going to have a chance to show it here in the next 5 games.
Well, they're going to have to, because like you said, they are playing the best. You've got Colorado in there. You've got Calgary in there. You've got, of course, this weekend, Tampa Bay and Minnesota. All 4 of those teams have better records than the Predators. Meanwhile, the Stars are at home all week. They've got Seattle 26-44-6, Vegas 42-31-5, Coyotes, Phoenix 22-49-6, and then Anaheim 30-34-14. All of those teams have worse records than Dallas, and they're at home. So you have to take care of business on the ice yourself, because you cannot expect Dallas to lose more than they win of these next 4 games.
Oh, absolutely. And that's the thing. The Predators have a game in hand. They've played 77 as opposed to 78, and they've got 2 points in hand on top of the Stars. So that certainly helps. But, that's the thing. Nothing is assured until you're in. And, the Predators, it's, how do they handle the pressure of, stepping up to that? Having had a couple of days off, I think, will help. And then it doesn't hurt that, after they play, this is the challenge. They've had 3 days off. They practiced today for sure. Then Tampa Bay, back home against Minnesota, day off. Calgary, day off. Travel to Colorado. Boom, boom, back-to-back games. This isn't an easy finishing stretch for the Predators. They're going to have to show what they can do.
If the last time they played back-to-back games is any indication, now granted, I feel like St. Louis is really good, but so is Minnesota. Do you think the Predators send UC Saros out twice in a row?
That I would, after the most recent experience, I'd have to say no. I mean, Big Save Dave is going to have to come through for you at some point, right?
Let's go, Dave.
Let's go, Dave. I mean, that's what he was signed for. And, that's the thing. If you can't trust him to play the first or second in a back-to-back, then Connor Ingram better be up here in a hurry this fall, okay? So, yeah, sometimes you pay the price, and, we'll see if that ends up costing the Predators, or if they can find a way to, outscore whatever their goalie might give up. So.
Speaking with Theresa Walker of the Associated Press here on Main Street Sports today, Theresa, we would be remiss if we did not ask you once again. Well, before we get away from the Preds, I guess.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, going over to Europe to start the 22-23 season. Looks like they are.
Yes, and apparently there'll be a scrimmage against SC Bern, which, by the way, surprise. Roman Yossi used to play for him, so it's going to be almost like old home week in a way for Roman Yossi. Matthias Ekholm was telling us that that's a 2-hour flight from Sweden, so he's expecting family and friends to be coming to Prague to watch them. And this is something that with the pandemic it just kind of disappeared, but it was kind of announced back in 2019, and then it just disappeared in COVID. So we're back on target, and things are looking pretty good. And yeah, these should be some fun games. I think that all the players who are from Europe are going to very much look forward to the chance to play an NHL game in front of family and friends. I mean, who wouldn't, right?
Yeah, makes sense.
Seems like it would be pretty exciting. Now, we talked the last time we spoke with you regarding the trade. I don't want to say rumors, but trade talk, I guess, around receiver A.J. Brown. Now, I think since we talked to you, Deebo Samuel has declared that he wants to be traded by the 49ers. Where do you think this situation between the Titans and A.J. Brown sits at this point? I mean, is it surely it does not get to that point.
I can't imagine. I mean, it's a matter of getting paid. And, while I can understand A.J. Brown wants some more, and, that video made it clear. He thinks he's made it clear that apparently on that video that Titans are offering no more than 20, and he's wanting much more than 20. Here's the thing. The Titans don't have that money just yet. Give them till June 1st. I mean, John Robinson said yesterday, Vin Marino is a whiz at the cap with his pencil. The problem is the reason why they hired him away from the NFL office to begin with. He knows the salary cap, but you have to be able to, have the money. And until June 1st, when the Julio Jones cap money comes back in, you can search under the cushions, but even the slightest cap-friendly deal is still going to cost more than $2 million this year. So, or sure seems. And oh yeah, there's a draft next week, so it's like, maybe put in a call to his agent and say, dude, seriously, we're let us focus on the draft right now. Okay. He's going to get paid. Is it going to be Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams money? No. Is it going to be Christian Kirk money because the Jacksonville Jaguars have more money than sense? No. Is it going to be a good number at some point? Yes. And he's going to be paid. But, listen, we all get it. When we know we've got a big bonus or we worked a lot of overtime and we know that check's coming on Friday, don't we all want it as soon as it can hit our bank account? We get it. He's off right now, essentially. It's the off season. They don't work that hard even, so he just wants to be able to have his money and have that security. Don't blame him a bit, but patience. It's okay. And, little advice to AJ, it's okay. Stay away from social media. Or mute yourself on social media.
That's
that
not,
way,
that's
people,
not advice
you
AJ.
cannot
That's
see
advice
what
to
people
everyone.
are saying.
Yeah,
that's good advice to everyone, not just
when you
AJ.
think it's
Stay
leading
away from
something,
social
step
media.
back.
Don't press send. I woke up this morning. I am on a text string with a couple of good friends that are Titans fans, and one of them texted something hypothetically, but I was less than half awake when I saw it, and it said, AJ to the Jets for all their picks next week. And I thought it was a trade that had been made in my sleep, and talk about a rude awakening.
You panicked.
Yeah. But the
nothing
Jets do
like
have
that to freak you out.
Yeah. The Jets do have 9 picks in next week's draft. So, I mean,
the Titans don't have that many needs. Do they have needs that, maybe, oh God. Yeah. Ask the New Orleans Saints how well trading away an entire draft class does for a franchise, especially a franchise like the Titans that, let's just say, the last 2 draft classes have been a little thin, certainly compared to 2019. They need the picks that they've got. Oh God. This is a challenge.
Okay, yes. But if any team was dumb enough to do it, it would be the Jets. Jets.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
That may be so. But here's the thing. You're a week from the draft, and everybody this is not fantasy football. It's the NFL. And what you can think of does not mean that it would fly in the realm of the NFL. I'm just saying.
There you go.
I feel quite confident you're right, but I guess with it being a week before the draft, it's kind of the silly season, so to speak. So,
it's very silly. It's silly. Social media has not made this easier, especially not people videotaping people and putting that out on the social media airways. It's like, just a reminder, anybody can record you wherever you're at, so maybe don't say some things out loud.
And there you have it.
There you go. Theresa Walker.
Yeah.
Theresa Walker of the Associated Press joining us here on Main Street Sports today. Theresa, rest up because looks like it's going to be a long week.
Gentlemen, long week. I don't know when I'll have another day off after Sunday. And I'm going 2 weeks out because think about this. Second round starts maybe May 1st. And for the Grizzlies, if they advance, and then you've got the Predators potentially in the playoffs starting in May. Maybe middle of May I'll get lucky. I'm just hoping at this point that I can have Mother's Day off.
Well, we'll make some calls. We'll call Lawson and make sure that if he needs to call in sick for you, that we can do that. He's practiced his coughing enough that we can make it work.
Intern 2 has celebrated Mother's Day with me at FedEx Forum in the past, so it's nothing new to him.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
Could be worse.
I mean, it could most certainly be worse. So there you go.
That may have been the Mike Conley mask game, guys.
Well, I mean, that was an interesting, almost debacle. Hey, real quick before we let you go, the week after, I guess the Saturday after, the 14th, that's the first home game for Nashville Soccer Club, right?
No, first home game for Nashville Soccer Club is May 1st. And as I've told the media folks over there, sorry, somebody else for AP is going to have to handle that. I'm a little busy.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, there you go.
There you go.
Theresa, we appreciate it as always.
My pleasure, guys. And, check in with me next week. Well, we'll see if we can find a time. I mean, I hope to sleep sometime next week. Just kidding.
We'll do our best. We'll do our best to help you out there. Just tell him you're on the air with us and take a nap.
Sounds good to me.
All right. We'll talk to you then.
Thanks, guys.
Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll tell you what are we looking forward to this weekend, because there's a lot to look forward to. So stick around. Main Street Sports Today comes back after this. This is Chris Yao with Main Street Sports Today. Every show, Mo Patton and I welcome friends from all across the sports landscape, from high school coaches and reporters to national, college, and pro sports personalities. You never know who might stop by for a chat. AP Tennessee sports editor, three-time Tennessee Sports Writer of the Year 2020 TSWA Hall of Famer. She covers the Titans, the Predators, the Grizzlies, college football, and hoops. Please make welcome Theresa Walker.
Former University of Tennessee, former Team USA Olympian, ex-Cy Young Award winner, R.A. Dickey. R.A., did I miss anything?
Man, that was sweet. Yeah, I need to listen to that before I go to bed every night. That was nice.
Has 5 sports Emmys. That's not bad for the other guy in Wham, Ryan McGee.
Other guy in Wham married the best looking girl, Bananarama. So other guy in Wham had a pretty good life.
From preps to pros, we're taking on the sports topics you care about. Tune in across Main Street Media social platforms at 2 p.m. or on demand on your podcast distribution platform of choice. Welcome back in to this final Friday segment of Main Street Sports Day presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. I have to read the thing now because I messed up yesterday, so now I'm gun shy. Oh, man. Fellas, what you got planned for this weekend? What's going on? What are we looking forward to? Anything exciting in your worlds?
May try to wander downtown for the
First
Main
Horizon?
Street Festival in Franklin tomorrow.
Franklin.
Sounds like fun.
That does sound like fun, actually.
It's the first time, I think they postponed it last year until July. I didn't go, but before that, obviously everything kind of got thrown into uproar the last 2 or 3 years. So I might go down there and wander around a little bit. Stop in Kilwins, get some ice cream.
Might tell my mom to come up a little early.
Oh, is your mom coming up this week?
Mom is coming up this weekend. We're going to see Gene Watson in McMinnville. So
There you go. On Fire Concerts.
big, yeah. Ron Johnson on Fire Concerts. Yeah. It's going to be a really fun week. She is the only reason I'm a Gene Watson fan. So I figured if I was going to get tickets, there was no one else I could invite. One, Sarah would not enjoy it. She would be like, "I'm sorry. Should I go home?" Yes.
Is this your Mother's Day gift? Are you framing it in that manner?
Not really. No, it's just
That's good. That's
He's just being a good son.
That's good.
just thanks, Mom. Appreciate it.
Well done. Yeah.
What about you, Jonathan?
Actually, I'm going to be going to Nash Vegas on Saturday tomorrow.
For what?
Yeah.
What?
On purpose?
Going to Trader Joe's. Looking forward to that.
Do that in Franklin.
Yeah, those are Trader Joe's in Cool Springs.
We haven't been to that. That's not the whole reason we're going, but
I know where you're going though.
I don't think you do.
How do you? I know where you're going to Trader Joe's.
Oh, okay. In Trader Joe's?
So next to Trader Joe's is Sushi Train.
Which one though? Which Trader Joe's?
The one in Belmead. Is there more than one?
There's one in Green Hills. That was the original.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, there's one in Green Hills.
That's right.
Yep.
That's the only one I knew of.
No, the one over in
Was it White's Creek?
in Belmead.
I don't
area,
go over there.
The one in Belmead area has Sushi Train next to it, and Sushi Train is phenomenal. You should
If you
definitely
like
go.
sushi.
I will keep that in mind. I've been to that Trader Joe's before.
So Sushi Train is they put it on a conveyor belt, and you just pick it up as it comes
one
by.
of those places.
It's amazing.
There you go.
All you can eat.
That's interesting.
I like that.
But you got to sit close to the kitchen, or you only get what's left.
Okay, by the time it gets around to you,
It's been picked over.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wow.
that's a long train around the
It is.
around the restaurant.
Anyway,
Yeah,
Trader Joe's and then what?
Trader Joe's. The main reason going to Nashville, going to see a play at TPAC. Little arts and entertainment
Oh, look
tomorrow.
at you being
Yeah.
all cultured.
This is apparently it's a play about the days after 9/11 and the airfield and community in Newfoundland, where there were a ton of planes that had to land there, and apparently created a lot of relationships with the community that have lasted over the years. So there's a play based on that. So going to see that with the folks, and then have a nice little dinner planned afterwards.
Not at Sushi Train. Huh?
Not at Sushi Train. Back in Green Hills. Yeah.
Okay, so you're going back to Green Hills.
Mm-hmm.
So what time is the play?
2:00.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, matinee.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Matinee.
Little Saturday matinee at the Jackson Theater at
So
TPAC.
you would go to Trader Joe's afterwards.
No, we'll go
because-
before.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
So you're going to Green Hills twice in one day?
Well, see, the restaurant is right around the corner from the Trader Joe's.
So you're going to Green Hills twice in one day?
Correct.
Oof. Good
See, I
on
got
a
it plan-
Saturday.
got it
Good luck
planned
to you,
out.
buddy.
See, we're going to drive up to Green Hills.
I don't know how much planning you're doing here.
No, but hear me out. Here we
My
go.
hat is off to you, sir.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
See, my parents, they're already in Nashville today.
Okay.
They're staying downtown. So we're going to meet them at TPAC. Actually, meet them at the Hermitage where we'll go in and drive across. So we're going to go to Trader Joe's, park our car at the restaurant around the corner. Then we're going to have dinner, Uber it downtown, meet my parents at the play, enjoy that, then drive with my parents
Back to
Green Hills to the restaurant, have dinner, and then we part and caravan back to the Burg. Mm-hmm.
Either way, it's a lot of traffic.
Man.
Good
Yeah,
luck
well,
to you.
but only one part of it, I actually have to drive
Right. And you
out of downtown Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
Going in town, it's an Uber.
Good luck.
Man.
Good luck is all I can tell
Have
you.
fun with that.
Other than
That's a full Saturday.
It is a full Saturday.
ain't no
And
doubt.
no Home Depot included in that either, or Bed Bath & Beyond.
I've got 3 stories I've got to finish up writing, so
Sorry.
that's always fun. And then of course I'll probably be watching some Preds, and of course the Braves will be on. So I'm hoping to get to First Horizon on Sunday just for a 2:00 start. It's going to be a pretty day. No reason not to. So I'm going to try to get out to First Horizon on Sunday. You guys should join me out there if you're out there watching. It is, of course, Nashville Sounds. So
Stop by, say hi, right?
yeah, stop by, say hi. Other than
Turn
that,
around and wave at Jeff.
that's right. We will be
You've
back.
got a press pass. You can
Oh, that's right.
Go
yeah.
up.
You can go up and
I can
see Jeff.
See Jeff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Say hello. We will be back on Monday, and don't forget Tuesday we will be downtown ourselves at Bridgestone Arena and the Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame live and in person. So come join us there. We'd love to have you stop by and say hi.
Stop by, say hi. Get a picture with the World Series Championship piece of metal.
Piece of
You're
metal.
going to say get a picture with us. I'm like, I don't know if you want to do
No,
that too.
I can't imagine anybody
can.
really wanting to do that.
can,
but
yeah.
I can't imagine them wanting to get a picture with the
Absolutely.
World Series trophy.
as they should. So should be a lot of fun. You guys come hang out with us again. We'll be back on the air 2:00 Monday, and of course again at the Sports Hall of Fame on Tuesday at 2:00 as well.
Good to see you guys in person today, by the way.
Yes, it's not hello. You're
to
not
be
on a
back.
screen. You're on a screen, but you're not on a screen. There's that.
We can actually throw things at him.
That's right. I know you've missed that.
So he's JP. I'm Chris Yao. Mo Patton.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.